Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. My name is Juji. This is HD by Z. If you're new here, this is a space for anyone and everyone who's into human design, both relationships, personal development, all the things. I'm so excited you're here. We're going to be talking about Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban and their 15-year marriage. Yes, you heard that right. 15 years they've been together. And I wanted to look underneath the hood to see what was going on with these two. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you all that if you want to chat with me one-on-one, you can DM me on Instagram at HD by Z, and you can also find my website in the show notes. There you can see all the ways in which we can work together. I also run an online group for women called the Beehive. It's a support system. It's a sisterhood. It's a beautiful way to connect and share and learn human design. So let's get into Nicole and Keith. Let's share their charts and see what we can glean. All right, so of course we're going to start with the luminous Nicole Kidman. She is a manifesting generator, sacral authority, single definition, a 1-3 profile on the right angle cross of the vessel of love. And what's wild to me is the pattern that I see emerging every single time I do one of these readings. The last video I did was for Kate and William, and Prince William is on the cross of the vessel of love. And before that, I did an analysis for Wallis Simpson and King Edward, and she was on the vessel of love cross. So it's so interesting when you see these patterns emerging. So let's talk about Nicole. The thing that really sticks out for me with her, not necessarily as it relates to relationships, but just in general, it's very interesting to see that every single one of her channels, meaning the two gates that come together to form definition on either side, are conscious in her. So this could potentially point to the fact that she is very self-aware. Most of us have at least one, if not all of our channels unconscious, which means we do not have conscious access to our definition, but she does. Now let's look at Keith. All right, so this is Keith Urban. He's a generator. His authority is his solar plexus, emotional. His definition is split. In fact, this is a very wide split if we're looking at it that way. He's a 6-2 profile on the left angle cross of wishes. And because this was a request from somebody to do this analysis, I didn't really know much about this couple, just that they've been going strong for quite some time. I didn't realize it had been 15 years and that they had 2 children together. But I read a couple of articles, and the thing that really stuck out to me was that Nicole Kidman consistently through all of the interviews that they did together said that it took him 4 months to call her after they met. And that's really funny to me, obviously, because as a sacral being, she was like, come on, buddy. I know we have chemistry. Let's go. And he just wasn't clear that he wanted to create that connection yet, especially with this very intimate channel of the 59-6. So it's interesting to me that in spite of her feeling like she was ready and he wasn't, and of course his mind told him the reason why he wasn't ready was that she was quote unquote out of his league. And that is why he didn't call her for the first 4 months that they knew each other. But then ultimately when he did, they had a seamless conversation. So let's look at their connection. All right, here we go. So Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman are single definition together, which is really great because that split is very wide. And so he feels very whole and very contained within himself when he is in her aura. They have one open center together and the rest are all divine. So that's 8 and 1, have some fun. Again, we just saw this with Kate and William. And in this case, the open center that we're looking at is the ego. So the recommendation for couples like this is that they are not here to prove anything to anyone and not to each other either. So this isn't about will between the two of them, although they both have gate 21, which can be a little bit of a power struggle potentially between the two of them. I mean, Nicole is an A-list celebrity. She probably out-earns him, if we're honest. And she is this woman in the spotlight. She is a full-blown bona fide movie star. And he is very famous in his own right, in his own category. But people might not even know who he is. I don't think I knew who he was until she married him. So that power dynamic might be more in her favor. Now, they do have two electromagnetic connections together. One of them is an emotional connection. This is the channel of emoting, and it is about invoking each other's spirit and emotionality. So there's a lot of passion potentially in this relationship. These are two very creative people, so they might really inspire each other. They might really bring out that emotional creativity between the two of them. And because it's all about being in the mood or not, it's about when they're in the mood, they're really in the mood together. Then they also have this channel of acceptance together, the 1762. This is where ideas and opinions start being expressed. So this is potentially a very creative, intellectual connection that they share together. He did express in that interview when he finally did call her, they talked for 4 or 5 hours on the phone and it was seamless. There was no pauses in their communication. So this definitely shows me that these two people are very connected and very much on the same wavelength. So what more is there to say about this? There doesn't seem to be anything really getting in their way. The way that they met isn't super interesting or out of the ordinary. One of the things I did read was that Nicole really helped Keith on his road to recovery. He has now been sober their entire relationship, and he is a 6th line. So there is a camaraderie there. She's a 1-3. She's always going to have a trial and error process. And he was recovering from some substance abuse problems from his 3rd line phase. They met well into his roof phase, meaning between the ages of 30 and 50, where he's trying to make sense out of his first 30 years and contemplating life, he became a lot more settled. He became a lot less volatile. And so Nicole was there to sort of catch him and then became a permanent part of his life. The other thing to point out about Keith is that he has the stream of preservation. So he has this channel of mating, the 59-6. We talk a lot about this. We've seen it in a lot of people. We've also seen it as an electromagnetic connection. But on the other side of this is the 50-27, which is all about caring. So there's the creative, intimate, sexual part of him. And then there's the part of him that's very caring and very nurturing and very supportive potentially to her. And that must be something that she really enjoys. Now he has an open G and an open throat, and she has those things defined in her. And that must be something that he really enjoys. In fact, I hear that they do make music together. So they do have this creative outlet that they share. She is a beautiful singer. She has a great voice. She's been in Moulin Rouge. She's sang the opening theme to a show that she did a few years ago. So Nicole has had this, almost hidden talent that nobody really knows her for. Everybody knows him as the singer in their relationship, but they get to do that together. And I always say that the couple that recreates together stays together. There doesn't seem to be any major hiccups in their relationship. And one of the things that stood out when I was reading these articles is that Nicole specifically said that she doesn't want anybody to put their relationship on a pedestal. And when she was asked why, she said, because everybody deserves to have their own relationship. Everybody deserves to make up their own rules about what a relationship is to them. And it seems that they have been able to do that. which has helped them escape the normal Hollywood trope of being married for a few years and then having a very public, nasty divorce. They've been very quiet. They've been very balanced. They live in Australia, away from the pressures of Hollywood and all of the madness that comes along with that. I'm sure that helps their relationship thrive. And because Nicole is this incredible, glamorous movie star, it's really a testament to her ability to make him comfortable that they've been able to stay together. Because with such a sensitive person in the relationship, him being this 59'6", it can be challenging not to offend or breach that intimacy with that person, especially since he started out feeling like she was, way out of his league and far beyond his reach. So the fact that she can make him feel comfortable within the relationship is really, really probably the key to the longevity of their partnership. All right, guys, I think that's a great place to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments or nominate another famous couple for me to do an analysis for. I have a long list going, so bear with me. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, ciao for now.